We're solving equations using the quadratic formula. So what you have to do here first is you have to multiply x times 2x and x times -5. So you have 2x squared minus 5x equals 12. Now we want to set it equal to 0. So you have 2x squared minus 5x minus 12 equals 0. And what we're going to do is we have to identify the a coefficient, which is 2, the b coefficient, which is -5, and the c coefficient, which is -12. Now, to just use the quadratic formula, all you have to do is substitute into the formula, which is up here. So we have x equals -b, which is going to be 5, positive 5, plus or minus square root, and we have -5 to the second power minus 4 times 2 times -12 divided by 2 times 2. So what I did is I went ahead and evaluated everything that was inside the discriminant or underneath the radical, which is called the discriminant. And so you're going to have to add 25 plus 96. And then we're going to have to get the square root of that value. So what you get is 5 plus or minus the square root of 121. 25 plus 96 gives you 121. The square root of 121 is 11. So the two answers are 5 plus 11, which is 16 over 4, which gives you 4. Or 5 minus 11 is 6, or -6. -6 over 4, which simplifies to -3 over 2. So you have two answers. You either have 4 or -3 over 2. I'm going to go ahead and go to number 3. The principal at a high school is planning a concert to raise money for music programs. He determines a profit P from the ticket sales depends on the price T. According to the equation, all the amounts are in dollars. If the goal is to raise $8,500, what is the smallest amount the school should charge for the ticket to the concert? So you're going to solve this quadratic equation. So you're going to let A equal -200. B is 3,600. And C equals -6,400. And then what you want to do is you want to go ahead and put that into the quadratic formula. So you have x equals -3,600 plus or minus square root. So it's going to be 3,600 squared minus 4 times -200 times c, which is -6,400. And then you're going to divide all of this by 2 times -200. So I'm going to go ahead and take this in pieces. I'm going to evaluate the discriminant. I worked it out. I went ahead and substituted into the quadratic formula. 3,600 squared minus 4 times -200 times -6,400, which is right here, came out to 7,840,000. And then when I get the square root of that, I get 2,800. And then I have the -3,600, I have the -3,600, and I have the -3,600. So what I did, I had -3,600 plus 2,800 divided by -400, which gives me $16. Or it could have been -3,600 plus $2,800 divided by -400, which came out to $2. So the lowest or the smallest amount the ticket price should be is $2. Number 5, the height h in the feet of a model rocket t seconds after launch is given. As the rocket descends, it deploys a recovery parachute when it reaches 200 feet above the ground. At what time does this parachute deploy? So the equation is -16t squared plus 256t equals 200, because you want to figure out at what time will it be 200 feet above. So you're going to have to rewrite this equation So it equals to 0. Now we can figure out the time. So we need to identify A, which is negative 16, B, which is 256, and C, which is negative 200. So what I did is I figured out the discriminant, which is 256 squared minus 4 times negative 16 times negative 200, which I got 78,336. And then I added that to negative 256, the square root, divided by negative 32. And one of them was a negative answer, and the other one was 16.8 seconds. So since time can't be negative, it's going to have to be positive 16. Evaluate the discriminant for each equation. Determine the number of real solutions. So you need to first identify your A, in this case it's 1, your B coefficient, which is negative 5, and then your C coefficient, which is 4. The discriminant is B squared minus 4 times AC. So B squared is negative 5 squared minus 4 times A times C, which is 4. Negative 25 squared is going to be 25 minus 16, which 25 minus 16 is 9. Since that's positive, it's going to be 2 real solutions. For number 9, it says solve each equation using any method. When necessary, round real solutions to the nearest hundredth. So we first got to identify A. In this case, it's 5. We have to identify B, which is negative 5, and C, which is negative 2. Next, we have to substitute into the equation. So you have, this is negative 6. So it should be negative 6, so it's positive 6, plus or minus, square root. So you have negative 6 squared minus 4 times 5 times negative 2 divided by 2 times 5. So what I did is I evaluated the discriminant. So here's the discriminant, and what I got was 76. I got the square root of 76 plus 6, and then divided by 10, I got 1.77. I also got 6 minus the square root of 76 divided by 10, I got 0.03, so those are the two answers.